What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today we're taking a look at the upcoming Adidas Yeezy releases in 2020 that we know about. I hope you all are doing well during this craziness that's going on, and I hope you guys are staying safe and staying home. And I just want to reiterate that obviously sneakers are not the most important thing in the world. In fact, they're very far from it, but I still want to bring out normal content for you all because I feel like having a sense of normalcy is really important during this time, and also just having something to do while you're stuck at home. So I'm going to continue posting normal videos for you all, and when it comes to actually buying sneakers, just practice common sense. If you can't afford them, especially right now, just don't buy them. It's not worth it. But on a lighter note, I've actually teamed up with the company I'm doing this collaboration with, We Are Underdogs, to start a competition to give one of you the opportunity to have your own colorway of this sneaker produced. Honestly, we felt like this would be the perfect time to hold this competition because it gives people the opportunity to be creative while they're just sitting at home. The way the competition works is you download the line art for this sneaker, the Seth Fowler We Are Underdogs Origin sneaker, which is linked in the description below. Then you color in the line art however you want and call out whatever materials you want on the upper and post that picture on Instagram. In order to enter the competition, you need to follow and tag myself at @RealSethFowler and We Are Underdogs at WAU.WeAreUnderdogs on Instagram. And of course, the most important part is hashtagging Origin Contest on your post. That way, people can find your post and vote on it. Submissions are open from now until April 12th, 2020, and all the information and rules that you need are also in that link in the top of the description. And like I said, the official prize is having your colorway realized as a one-of-one sample that you get to keep. And as a bonus, you also get $100 to use towards any products on weareunderdogs.com. So make sure to have fun with it, and who knows, you might even have your colorway made. But now, let's get on to the upcoming Yeezys of 2020. Starting things off with the nearest Yeezy release, we've got the Adidas Yeezy 700 V3 Alpha. This Alpha colorway is the triple black version of the V3 silhouette. The 700 V3 has always been one of the most interesting Yeezy silhouettes to me because not only is it one of the most popular, but it's also one of the cheapest. The shoe retails for a price of just $200, which I think is directly tied to the fact that the sneaker doesn't actually have Boost. Instead, this Yeezy uses a different kind of foam in the midsole, which is kind of similar to EVA, but also could be bounce. Not only that, but like the original 700 V3 Azale, the upper of this sneaker, or at least the rubber part of the upper of the sneaker, actually glows in the dark. I will say that this is probably the tightest fitting Yeezy 700 so far, and because of that, I would suggest going up half a size. I went true to size on the Azales and they fit very, very tight. So on the Alphas, I actually went up half a size, and I think that's probably the right move. It's a futuristic, organic looking sneaker that I think a lot of people are excited about. And not only that, anyone who missed out on the original colorway is definitely going for this pair. Releasing just a week after that, on April 18th, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Linen. I don't know what it is about this colorway, but there's something about it. Maybe it's that blue liner around the top of the ankle that makes this shoe my favorite 350 V2 to drop this year. The shoe features a primarily tan prime knit upper with some tan accents along the side of the midsole and also a gum outsole. As I mentioned, the top of the ankle area and the sock liner come in sort of a grayish blue, and I really think that's my favorite part of this sneaker. I personally love the fact that they've started putting color pops around the top of the ankle. It really makes each shoe unique. But other than the colorway, this shoe is just another pair of 350 V2s. And while that's not a bad thing, I do think some people will pass on this shoe just because they already have so many pairs. And following that up, just a week later, on April 25th, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 MNVN in bone. I don't know what it is about the 700 MNVN, but there's something about it that I just don't like. I just don't like the way the shoe looks on my feet. I don't like the way the materials feel, and the colors so far, while they pop, are not really my thing. The Bone 700 MNVNs is one of those colorways that's been leaked for the last 2 years. Everyone knew this colorway was coming, and now finally at the end of April 2020, we're getting this pair for real. Up until this point, all the 700 MNVN releases have been regional, and so they have been kind of difficult to get, and I think this Bone colorway might be the first one that's releasing online to everyone. I could be wrong about that. I don't know much about the release, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way that it's dropping. Unlike the 700 V1s and V2s, this shoe is releasing at a retail price of $220. And unlike the 700 V3s that save costs by not putting Boost in the midsole, it looks like the way that the 700 MNVN is saving cost is by changing up the materials on the upper. The shoe itself is fine. I know a lot of people are excited about it, but it's not something that I'm personally planning to pick up. The rest of the Yeezys that we're talking about in today's video don't have official release dates, so for each upcoming release, I'm just going to give you guys the season or the time of year that they're dropping. And the first of those releases, slated to drop in the spring, is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 Blue Oat. What to say about this sneaker? This shoe is Yikes. The original name for this leak was the Yeezy 380 Blorf, and I feel like Blorf fits this colorway a lot better than Blue Oat does. It's like the sound that you would make when you throw up something this color. I honestly don't know what to think about this shoe. It's crazy. It reminds me a lot of the Yeezy 350 V2s in that sort of McDonald's wrapper colorway. It's nuts and only certain people like it. This colorway mashes together a bunch of colors which you wouldn't think go together, and to be honest, still looking at it now, I still don't think they go together, but I guess I gotta give them credit for at least experimenting. You know, that's always a good thing. Sometimes. The shoe features a very yellowish orange upper with a bright blue accent on the midfoot and sort of an army green outsole. It's a weird look. I still can't get it. The one thing I will say about this colorway though is that it definitely looks better in real pictures than in just the rendering. In the rendering, the colors are too bright, but when you look at this picture in like factory photos and on Kim Kardashian's Snapchat, it looks much more normal. One thing a few of you did point out to me is that on Kim Kardashian's Instagram, you can see that the lacing on this sneaker is not standard laces. Instead, it looks like they're using the lacing system from the 700 MNVN, which is kind of an infinite loop which you can't take off. I don't know how I feel about that lacing system, but to be fair, I don't know how I feel about the entire shoe, so the lacing is probably the least of my worries. At the end of the day, it's just one of those polarizing shoes that a lot of people will hate, but a lot of people will love. It's not a crowd pleaser, and I don't think it's supposed to be. Also, apparently releasing in the spring, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700 MNVN Phosphor. This shoe is very similar to the Bone MNVNs that we just talked about a little bit earlier, except rather than having sort of a cream white upper, it's got a bright neon green upper. This green colorway or phosphor colorway is the very first colorway of this sneaker that we saw, and I think because of that, a lot of people are excited about this shoe. As you can see, the lateral side of the sneaker features 700 written in giant, bold 3M lettering, and the rest of the shoe comes in black with some 3M accents on the toe and on the heel. As with the Bone colorway, I'm not overly excited about this sneaker. If I can get it for retail, I will. If I can't, I'm just gonna let it go. Moving on to the summer months, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Israfil. Originally, this shoe was known as the gray gum colorway of the 350 V2, and that's for obvious reasons, because the upper of the shoe is primarily gray with a gum accent along the stripe, as well as a gum outsole. The sneaker itself retains that familiar static pattern from back in 2018, however, it does change some things up by changing up the tones of the grays on the upper and of course adding the gum color. Other than that though, it's pretty similar to a lot of the other 350 V2s that we've seen this year. After that, we've got the pretty highly anticipated Adidas Yeezy Foam Runner. This sneaker is probably the wildest Yeezy sneaker we'll see for a very long time. In fact, it's not even really a sneaker, it's more of like a foam slip-on or slide or something like that, but it comes in a runner form. The shoe obviously is made up of a one-piece foam construction, however not so obvious is that the foam apparently is derived from algae. If that is actually the case and the shoe is made up of some sort of algae derivative, that's really cool to see, and I love the fact that Adidas and Yeezy brand have actually started working towards sustainability. Visually, this sneaker is wild. It looks insane. It looks like this organic, it looks like a piece of algae. It really does. It looks like some weird shell that's covered in algae. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a weird looking sneaker, and I think we can all see that. That said, because it's such a weird looking shoe, I think a lot of people are drawn to it. I'm excited to try it out. I'm excited to see how it feels on foot and also see how it looks on my feet. Then after that, also releasing in the summer, we've got the Adidas Yeezy QNTM Barium. This shoe is apparently an olive or dark green take on the Yeezy QNTM. I'm not sure if it's the basketball version of the shoe or the lifestyle version of the shoe, but based on this rendering, it looks like it is the basketball version. The reason I say that is because the basketball version has some sort of TPU cage covering up the upper, and it looks like this version has that same cage, so that's why I'm assuming that. Honestly, the sneaker doesn't look that different from the original QNTM, but I think the main takeaway from this is that a lot of people who missed out on the original QNTM will now have a chance to grab the shoe, but in a different colorway. I reviewed a pair of QNTMs that I got during All-Star Weekend, and I personally really like the shoe a lot, so I'm excited to see Kanye and Adidas release some more versions of the sneaker so that more people have the opportunity to try them out. And hey, if you like dark olive green, this is one of the few Yeezy sneakers in that colorway, so I would definitely go for this one. Next up is the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Zion. This 350 V2 comes in sort of a coffee brown colorway with some lighter creams in between the brown accents. The Zion 350s feature a dark brown stripe along the lateral side, which really makes the side of the sneaker pop, and the outsole of the shoe comes in sort of a brownish gray. This is actually one of my more preferred 350 V2s dropping this year, and if I have a chance to grab it, it might be one of the ones that I keep, because I don't actually keep a lot of 350 V2s. If you're trying to grab a pair of the 350 V2s in the Zion colorway, they should be releasing sometime in summer 2020. Also releasing this summer, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 380 in the sky blue colorway. It's kind of weird, but the more that I wear the 380, the less that I like the look of it, but the more that I love the way it feels on feet. I really think that it's the most comfortable Adidas Yeezy ever made. But to be fair, it is a weird looking shoe, and now that that sort of newness has worn off the sneaker and we're more used to the 380, I think I'm kind of getting a little disenchanted with it. There's something about the holes on the side of the sneaker that didn't bother me at first, but now are starting to weird me out a little bit, and that sucks because I do genuinely think it's a great silhouette. The performance changes to the 380 are excellent. There's a little bit more boost in the midsole, there's this nice sweep in the heel which makes it so much easier to walk in, and it's just a more comfortable sneaker overall. And even though I'm starting to like the silhouette a little bit less, and again that's all my personal preference, I think this sky blue colorway is probably the best colorway of this sneaker to drop so far. It's clean, it's simple, I think it's done really nicely, and if you're trying to grab a pair of 380s, this might be the pair to go for. And finally, rounding off the list, sometime in the fall or winter, we've got the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Oreo. This shoe features very similar color blocking to the 350 V2 Yeshiel. However, instead of having a colorful upper, the upper is made up of primarily blacks and grays. The stripe on the lateral side of the sneaker and the midsole of the shoe come in black, so it does sort of balance out the look a little bit, but even though the upper is really only grays and blacks, it's still a pretty wild looking shoe. That said, I don't think it's a bad look, and it's something that I might actually go for, and I think a lot of other people are also excited about it too. And with that, we wrap up the list of the upcoming Adidas Yeezy sneakers of 2020 that we know about. But now I would love to know your thoughts on these shoes and which ones you're looking forward to most, so let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.